What the fuck was that? Didn't know a legally blind man can officiate a soccer game. Didn't know that till today. Called him a bunch of names. Lots of them I can't repeat. My 2 cents.
Point, no problem. But this was for the
Connor, I would definitely agree with you, my man. I can't hear James. Where are you at, bro?
I'm here.
Okay. My God, that was disappointing.
Wow.
Like, man, just to give up a penalty. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's more frustrating because the way the rest of the world kind of looked at us, it was like, well, no, of course Wales is going to be a better team. And we were by far the better team in this game.
Dominated. That should have been a win. 3 points.
Well, that was a stupid-ass decision by Zimmerman to go into a tackle inside the box when Turner had made an amazing save before. He could do it again, but no, you had to slide in and take his legs out from under him. Gareth fucking Bale. What else do you expect? Sorry.
That was on Zimmerman. I agree. That referee was correctly calling a penalty.
That was a correct penalty, but the ref was...
Yeah.
Most of those yellows were pretty soft.
What I don't
We'll get into the
is-
referee, guys. We'll have a whole referee rant. Let's put a pin in that until it comes obvious that we just can't stand that anymore. But because that referee, it deserves its own little topic wheel. But so
Can we talk about the subs?
yes, no, we'll get there. Let's start at the beginning of the game, right? Beginning of the game. How did you feel before the first minute even happened?
I was too busy trying to figure out my rabbit ears, so like I didn't have any stress. Then the game kicked off and they played amazing.
Connor, how are you feeling? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Huh?
I thought Toke had more to say. I cut him off.
No, go ahead. I want to hear Connor. He's fiery today, man.
Connor, how did you feel before the kickoff?
Nervous. I knew Wales was no slouches, and well, they showed it today. But like a draw is a win for them because they got Iran coming up, and England beat them 6-2, and they're gonna rout Iran. Oh, easiest game of the group. United States has England, and we're probably going to get shellacked by. But Wales has Iran, and we're going to beat them 5-0. And we're going to take second in the group. Shut the fuck up. Bunch of pussies.
Here's how I felt. Here's how I felt. I'm going to try and not worry about the outcome. I'm going to try and enjoy the right before and at least the very first minute. I was committed to enjoying the first minute of being back at the World Cup after like 8 fucking years. More than it just is a bit that feeling was so heavenly, that moment. And then, I recognized Wales was the favorite team, but I was just going to savor that. And then I knew that there were going to be more emotions to come. And that we were going to be throughout this tournament, our feelings, the collective zeitgeist is always going to be ever changing, ever evolving, just throughout the tournament. And I started to wonder about the raw potential of what we could be, the U.S. men's national team, how far we could take this ride, what surprises were in store, who would become our heroes, and what emotions would be invoked inside us all along the way. Those were the things running through my mind. And when we kicked off, man, I just got loud. I got loud. And I gotta say, the swelling of emotion really hit me when that USA chant, that slow roll USA chant. And then the announcer said it gave you chills, and I was in the middle of having chills. Like I was just like in the middle of just like the most existential, not existential, it was just like, oh my gosh, it was like football heaven again. We're back. And that emotion swarmed over me, and then the the USA chant that just got faster and faster. Absolute
Yeah,
chills.
those weren't paid actors.
No, it's exciting, man. Like I got to be honest. Even though I am pretty upset about what happened, but there's a lot to be happy about.
Right.
But like, dude, the emotions coming into this tournament is not even how do I distinguish between it? It's not necessarily like, oh, they're young, who cares what happens? This is just like the first time in my lifetime of rooting for this team that I feel like we could just be a team. It could go well, it could go poorly, we could just play. We're looked at as our talent level, yada yada. Like, whereas every other World Cup, every other second we've been on the world stage, I've felt this weight of like, they have to prove that we're actually legitimate, like that we belong in the conversation, that like we're not just a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? We're just that soccer is its own thing. It's not like we have to defend soccer by playing well every single minute we're on the world stage. So I actually had a little bit less stress about this World Cup. I mean, making it was that was a whole nother story. But
Right.
yeah, like it's like you said, like trying to enjoy it. It was more enjoyable. It was more enjoyable to be able to just come at it as a fan of a soccer team instead of this has to prove our existence in this. You know what I mean?
Right. Connor?
Well, I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but I put my name in the pool for next head coach, varsity head coach for the guys team at my alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And judging off of today, I would not last in the position very long. I called the referee a bunch of very bad names. Very bad names.
That referee was something else.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually, I don't know if I'm dumb. I just didn't even expect it. I just kind of like went into the game waiting to see what happened in the game, and then as soon as the ref started making terrible calls, I was like, oh crap!
It was
I
hard
forgot
to
this was a
ignore.
thing. Yeah,
What I
forgot
don't
this could be a
understand
thing.
is if you're gonna caution one team when the other team is doing the exact same thing, why don't you caution them too? If you're gonna call it both ways or don't call it at all.
Oh yeah, like
That's what I don't understand.
whoever that cat was on Pulisic, by the way the guy was calling the game, should have been out, should have had a red early. Like he had probably 5 bookable tackles on Pulisic.
Like that foul outside of Pulisic on the box that the referee said wasn't a foul. That should be a sending off. He didn't touch the ball.
Oh, there were so many fouls that they got away with that we didn't. That referee was so inconsistent. The funny thing is, like, I think he was meaning to. I feel like he was just really bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, they said he was a veteran referee, quote unquote.
No way.
No, I mean they talk through his accolades and stuff. I mean, but refs can have a bad game as well. You know what I mean? It's still. It might be because we're a young team, but I'll put it this way: like if you guys were, I don't know about you, Connor, but if you're old enough to remember 2010 and the Maurice Adu goal that was called off, and it just what it felt like back then, the way the world viewed us as far as referees, was that if it was a dead ball, no matter what, there was going to be a foul because we're just not talented enough to play straight up. We're too physical. So that's why, like, they just literally would call a foul on every free kick we had. It would quite literally be every one. You know what I mean? Just sending it back the other direction. So it's just, I don't think it was necessarily that egregious as it used to be, but like, I think maybe it has to do with them seeing us as young. So we're going to go through into wild tackles and shit, and they got to stamp that out before it starts. But I don't know, man. He did have a very poor game because, like, I will admit, in the second half, he had a few calls against Wales that I was like, oh, yeah, no, they're finally getting some of it. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Gareth Bale was complaining.
They were time wasting. It was clear as day.
Oh, for sure. Of course. Clear. I mean, again, you like even just using 2010 again as an example, Gano time wasted like 25 minutes You know what I mean? Like, and we got nothing. We got like 40 seconds of added time. You know what I mean? It was disgusting, but they just got away with it. It's just you will see it. You will see it in the World Cup a lot because you have teams playing teams that are clearly better than them. You know what I mean? And it just, I don't know, man. The ref had a very tough game.
The ref was abysmal.
he
He was
had-
inconsistent. He was
He
calling
had
calls for
players
certain.
yelling at him. He had fans booing him. He had managers yelling at him.
Mhm.
You know
The
what I mean?
commentary was bringing it up. It was just a bad day at the office for that ref, and they were also talking about how inexperienced he was, and how that
Don't
would
bring an
maybe weigh in.
inexperienced referee to the World Cup.
In
Don't bring
Qatar's,
him.
and here I am, thinking like, hopefully this Qatar World Cup, it started off really rough, and the rough start is continuing.
Yeah.
Did you see in the first game everybody was mad about the offside call, and I'm like, no, that's exactly what you should care about is the feet. That was my idea, is the feet.
Did you guys see that Grant Warhol was detained for like 30 minutes?
Yes, I did. I worried about him because I thought that according to your passport, you're not allowed to cause trouble in another nation. But all the same, I was like, kudos to him for doing what he can to try and raise awareness, because the players were unwilling to take a yellow card for this, and there are some people who were criticizing the players' unwillingness to take a yellow card in the name of the cause. But you can see it from both worlds. Like they don't want an extra caution to potentially obstruct them from playing another game if they get 2 yellow cards, because bam, that happens. It carries over for the first 3 games, but also like, at what point do you make a stand? So I don't know where you guys stand. It's been a hard place. It's this World Cup has just put us all in this place where it's like that stuff's on the mind as well as the soccer, and it's unfortunate.